Very good. All right. Oh my goodness, it's 1 o'clock. All right, let me get this set up. There. Oh, there we go. Oh, 6 people in the room. Okay, I didn't realize that. Sorry, thought I was alone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're a minute away from 1 o'clock on the West Coast. I'm not sure what time it is where you are. This is another, I don't know if you can see it, but this is a new Voltage coil shirt. This one is super, I think this one is rad. It's got huggable studs, and really cool collar I like. Awesome pink, it's kind of got a stretch to it. So ebay.hugnation.com, that'll be available when we're done here. Or once I get it online. All right. So that seems to be going. I need to have anything else set up. I think the chat room is all I need to do. I'll pull this down slightly. Yeah, I think that's not too bad. Hopefully you can hear me. If not, let me know in the chat room, hopefully. Hello, Mel from Kansas City. Welcome. First time here? Awesome. Actually, I don't know. I didn't wait till you respond. It's awesome whether it's your first time or not. I'm going to start the archiving camera in 1 second. I stopped using Periscope because it was just such a pain. It just wasn't working for people. So I'm not even going to try Periscope today. So I'll be speaking first, just kind of generally to the archive camera, but also to the chat room, and then I'll kind of slow down and then we'll have a more of a chatty, casual talk. So let me get all the archives going and then we can start. Oops. This on. All right, all right, all right. Oh, right on, Mel. Bex is I'm such a fan of hers and just the vibe that she creates. So welcome, Mel, and welcome anyone else who's listening to live. Welcome everyone on the archives. Before we get too deep, let's just get present. Just take 1 second, just close your eyes, feel into your body. Notice the temperature on your skin, feel your feet grounded, your seat anchoring you. Notice all the sounds you're aware of. Just letting yourself shift from your narrative of what you need to do into a receiving, an allowing, surrender. Just a mindfulness moment. Thank you, universe, for all of the gifts. Help us to appreciate the blessings. Fill us with love and joy so we may spread love and joy in the world. Amen. Welcome. I'm Halcyon. This is Hug Nation. Happy New Year. Yay! It is the first broadcast of 2016. And that must mean something. The New Year's is a time when many people get very excited and they get very motivated and they put together goals and resolutions and get fired up. And rooted in that is some kind of disappointment to what we once were and this eagerness to what we can be. And it's exciting to whip ourselves up into a frenzy. But I want to caution people that that belief that happiness and worth is connected to productivity and to achievement is a trap and can cause you a long-term relationship with stress and disappointment. And yet in our world, it is exceptionally difficult to let go of that need to do, grow, build, improve. I'm not saying any of those things are bad. I'm saying that the cultural pressure that we internalize puts us in a state of constant dissatisfaction, constant stress. And so the activities that might be pleasurable or joyful end up being a burden. And when we live in the state of psyched out, tense stress. So how do you snap yourself out of that mindset? How do you get out of that stress? How do you get out of that feeling that I need to be doing more? Or that just disappointment with whatever you're doing. I'm not doing enough. I'm not doing enough. I'm not doing enough. One of the tricks that I like to use to get into a more healthy mental perspective is that of a cosmic perspective. I love looking out over the ocean. It's one of my favorite things to recenter. And there's a number of reasons. One, the ocean is so large in its physical size and its weight. There is its own gravity to something so huge. But when looking out over something so large, I let my mind kind of blur and soften and try to imagine the millions and millions and millions and millions of living things that are in the middle of their drama, that are chasing after their dinner, that are running away from a predator, that are trying to fertilize an egg, that are trying to survive and thrive in this massive sea. And it lets me relax a little bit that narrative I have about how important everything I'm doing is. That feeling like, oh, I have to get this on the boss's desk or else hell will go into a handbasket. Actually, how does that say? We'll go to hell in a handbasket. The truth is, there will be no vehicle going to hell, whether handbasket or otherwise. And that recognition of our smallness is so critical and so helpful in balancing out that unhealthy anxiety. Even better than looking out over the sea is pondering space. Because it doesn't take very long before you get a true haunting sense of the smallness of our body on this planet, in this solar system, around this star, amongst the billions of stars. And some people feel like that can be a very depressing thing, to feel like, well, I'm so small, I can't make a difference. Right. The belief that you are supposed to make a difference is what is causing you the inability to enjoy the miracle in every moment. If you can find a way to surrender, to allow, then your responsibility is not to change the universe, but instead to find alignment with the patterns that already exist. When you start to see the magnitude of the patterns and the cycles of the cosmos, you go, clearly, obviously, that is way beyond my influence. We get tripped up in the ability, we know we can affect our body and we can affect our immediate surroundings. And so we falsely project that to think that we are in control. We need to steer, we need to fix. But if we can surrender, trust to this massiveness, then we can have whimsy and awe at this little bitty piece of the whole that we have a perspective of, that we have an awareness of. It's easy to get into that headspace of like, I'm important, what I do matters. But then you're always tense and always fighting. You can take a bulldozer down to the shore and push back the sand, but I do not recommend fighting the tide. Instead, soften and quiet so that the patterns and the cycles and the flow and the current becomes apparent, and then work with it. Then use your efforts to go with the flow, to float more and steer less. Now, in addition to looking at the vastness of space as a way to get into that cosmic perspective, you can also look at the vastness of time. I recently was looking at this webpage on waitbutwhy.com, and it had this cool illustration where they would take like a piece of, this is a lifetime, and then project that to, okay, then how much, let's see, how did they do that? How can I explain how they do it? It was a tool, a visual tool to demonstrate what a percentage of, say, a human lifetime was into the scale of how long cities have been around compared to how long humans have been around, how long mammals have been around. And it just, the numbers are staggering. The percentage of time that humans have been sentient is like 0.1 million years. 0.1 million years. That's how long humans have been, aware and creatively expressing cave paintings and such. There was actually like 150,000 years where humans were wandering around as animals, but that's a whole nother story. What changed? Dun, dun, dun. But when you compare that, say, humans have been around for 0.1 million years and dinosaurs were around for 165 million years. My life is even a blip within the expanse of all of human life. So my choice, my decision, my stress, my panic in this moment is statistically invisible. The only reason to put care and stress on it is by choice. And so that is what I suggest we practice doing. Use the cosmic perspective to snap you out of the feeling like everything is important and everything matters and I am, to pull out and go, oh, I can choose what I care about and then play life like you would play a soccer game. As you suit up in your jersey and you're with your team, you have camaraderie, You have an agreed upon goal. You have a scoring system that you're working towards. You want to play by the rules. You want to have good sportsmanship. You want to push yourself and sweat and have fun and be challenged and maybe have a struggle and maybe have and have that roller coaster of an experience. Yeah, and the triumph. But if you get to a point where you are so upset about how the game is going, you get a goal and you're just crushed, you should be able to snap back and go, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm just playing a game. I chose this game. I'm having fun. So what if I lose this round? So what if we lose this goal? That's not the objective. The objective is to enjoy the game. And the cosmic perspective, the release of importance in a grand cosmic scale, allows you to put whatever importance you want on whatever game you're playing. It allows you to go as deep and intense as you want, and allows you to release as much as you want. As I started to think about time as this massive recalibrating concept, I started looking at the Hindu concept of yugas, and they have these cycles that have to do with the life of a Brahman and just Brahma, the creator god. And so just a kalpa is a single daytime period in the life of Brahma. Let me start that again. The Hindu yuga, here are the Hindu yugas as my limited internet research has taught me. A kalpa is a single daytime period in the life of Brahma, the creator god. A kalpa is equal to 4.32 billion human years. So a lifetime of Brahma is 311.04 trillion human years. And the cycles within that life are these, multi-billion, 100,000 year systems and pulsings and creations and destructions. It makes you think of things like, the Matrix, and everything has happened and happened again. Like, as we're within this world, this narrative, as we're within this adventure and this game that we're playing, is this just one round of a ongoing series of games? Neil deGrasse Tyson said, "When I look up in the universe, I know I'm small, but I'm also big." He says, "I'm big because I'm connected to the universe, and the universe is connected to me." And I think that's a big part of a spiritual path, is becoming aware that you are the universe, you are connected to the universe is connected to you, and then forgetting that, remembering that, feeling the oneness, feeling your divinity, feeling connected to all things, and then forgetting that. Because in that state of oneness, you do slip away from some of the human experience. What's the point of anything? Everything is perfect, all is one. It's beautiful and a tad dull. It is within the forgetting, it is within the drama, it is within that game that we were able to experience relationship, joy, excitement, triumph, as well as pain and suffering and loss. But that is the human experience. As insignificant as one life may be in the massive cosmic drama, as insignificant as one ant might be on a plane, as insignificant as one cell might be in our body, it's all connected, it's all related. And to that cell, it's critical. To that ant, it's critical. To us, it's everything. And we have the choice to engage to the degree that we find that game exhilarating and triumphant and joyous and purposeful. So when we can release and relax and let go of the need to change the universe, change the world, because that's not our
possibility. In the grand scheme, there is nothing we could do to actually make a real difference. I mean, let's say you got a hand on a nuclear warhead. You could make maybe a tiny impact on the planet right now, but in the scheme of the cosmos, you're still not making that big a difference. Maybe you work your tiny off for environmentalism and you save some species. Still, when the Earth explodes into flames because it's the sun extinguishes, what's the point? Who really cares? So, if you can release from the obligation to change the world, you can relax and enjoy it. You can appreciate. You can have bliss and joy and love. And I would say that we can model ourselves on a bulb plant as to what our objective could be. A bulb, as you plant a bulb and it grows, if it gets sun and it gets water and everything it needs, it blooms and it pulls a bunch of energy, photosynthesizes, and then it pulls all that energy back into the bulb. And the next year it blooms more blooms and more foliage. And it keeps doing that as long as it's healthy and growing. If it doesn't get the things it needs, it may not bloom the next year, or bloom less, or have a smaller flower. There's no punishment to the bloom. That's just its purpose in the universe is this state of positive, healthy growth. And that's our purpose in the universe, is positive, healthy growth. Not changing the world, positive, healthy growth of ourselves, of working through our hangups, of releasing our fears, of building relationships, of spreading love, of demonstrating kindness. That is how we do our job, our role as part of this massive symphony of the cosmos. It's totally meaningless and critically important. So I think that focus, so I think the exercise of exploring the cosmic perspective in space and in time allows you to really surrender to your weaknesses, to recognize the limited impact that you have on the universe. And from that place of surrender, you're given permission to trust, whether that be to a divine wisdom, whether that be to just the wisdom, whether that be to some divine power or to simply the wisdom of the universe's natural cycles. But whatever your conscious little mind can do, you gotta just let go and go, there's no way. How can I possibly have the perspective? How can I possibly even have the, if I knew everything that every human ever learned, I still would not have enough awareness to know what's best, what's supposed to happen, what is the direction. I cannot steer. I can only have integrity and align with love and act from a place of my truth, not the truth of some ego intelligent concept or idea or plan, but from my truth of my knowledge of I am a part of the universe. I am connected to the one. My role is to be in alignment, in harmony, express kindness, be of love. So, thank you, Grand Cosmos, for all your lessons. Thank you, mind-blowing time, for the reminder of how small and brief we are. Thank you for this moment, this precious moment that we can share right now. Thank you for all you are in the world. and hell and all that you are not. I love you. Let's have a hug. All right, let's have ourselves a hug. I got tripped up a few times there, but I think we can do this. Ready? Let's do this hug. Bum, 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 bum. Welcome, Tommy. And anybody else that's in here right now, grab yourself by the shoulders. Even amongst all of the matter in the universe, to us, this body is the most important part. It is the cell that we can have the most impact on. It is the cell that we are charged with keeping healthy. It is the cell that connects us to the cosmic body. And so we appreciate it for all of its miracles and all its limitations, and recognize that this cell is not what we are. It is home to what we are. It allows who we are to flow through it. Who we are is that divine light, that loving beam that shines from source through us into that grand cosmos. So let's take 3 breaths together, allowing that energy to shine through us, allowing us to be that energy, allowing us to be a piece of that grand whole. Breathing together for 3 breaths. Ready? Inhale. On behalf of Grandpa Caleb and all the Love Warriors, happy Hug Nation. I love you. I love you. Thank you for being such an insignificant part of the universe and such a critical part of it as well. Three days in a row, Tommy, I know. Oh yeah, I need to make up. Oh, so today I am wearing a new Voltage Coil Halcyon Edition vest. All proceeds go to benefit First Saturdays Help the Homeless. It is available on ebay.hugnation.com for the next week. This is a new experiment where Voltage Coil is creating custom one-of-a-kind attire for me to wear on Hug Nation, and then we are auctioning off the apparel for charity to benefit First Saturdays. FirstSaturdays.org if you want to see more of what we do, or Help the Homeless is our address on Facebook. It is an incredible opportunity to connect with brothers and sisters in San Diego that are in need and down in their luck. If you're in San Diego, join us any First Saturdays, or encourage you to help out in any organization that calls to you in your neck of the woods. But special thank you to Casey, who is a seamstress genius. She's made a ton of the outfits that I have worn at Burning Man special events and festival ceremonies and things like that. And so I approached her and said, hey, would you be up for doing a little fundraiser, helping me so that I'm not wearing the same outfit every week on Hug Nation, and also sharing my style with the world, and also raising some money for Saturdays. So this is this week's super cool outfit. It's got these cool huggable metal studs that are like rounded and nice on the back. It's got the super cool modified Voltage Coil style collar. It's kind of got a stretchy pink material that I love so much that I may have to bid on it myself. But it's available on ebay.hugnation.com for the next week. I hope it becomes a part of your closet, that you get to remember what a kind act you did when you bought it. How many pieces of clothing do you have that as you put it on, make you look cool and make you know that you did good? Look good, do good. That's good. All right, so actually, if you're in the live chat room, I have to put it up yet. I'll put it up online as soon as we log off, so it's not available yet. Welcome, Sarah. Welcome, Mel. How's everyone's 2016 going? Woo! So far, I'm enjoying this year. In years past, I have, usually at New Year's, I'm kind of like, last year was the best it's ever been. It just gets better and better. It gets better and better. And this year was the first in, maybe I can remember, where I was kind of feeling like, okay, 2015 was rough. I'm ready for a new year. I'm ready for a fresh leaf and a reboot. Mel, I'm so glad to hear that. I too often find that whenever Hug Nation time comes around, that I am in need of a perspective shift. I like to call it a heart recalibration, because you need that. I had a conversation with my brother this week, and talking about how that this cosmic calibration is part of it, but that you really need to be vigilant about changing your headspace and changing your mind and reminding yourself that it's not all that important. It is extremely difficult not to get worked up and stressed on a daily basis, on an hourly basis, and it's really true. Like unless you are locked away in a convent and have no aspects of the world, no pressures of the world to remind you of deadlines and frustrations, you're inundated constantly with media messages and with people's expectations that things need to be different. You need to do different things. You need to do more, and you're not doing enough, and somebody's in your way, and it takes a whole toolkit of practices to calm the mind, to change the perspective. To me, that's what Hug Nation is this kind of building library of concepts. Some of them things that sometimes it's like crap or cone, some little phrase that helps me to knock my head back into a healthy space. Sometimes it's a longer concept or a story that I can try to tell myself when I'm off track. Easier said than done, but I think that my brother had this visual that I think is really apt. He said that life is like being on a record player, and where if you just put an object on the player, the centrifugal force will just push it out to the edge. And if the center is peace, and you are doing practicing, and you are meditating, and you are doing reminders, you start to move towards the center, towards peace, towards peace, towards peace. But the minute you are inactive, the minute you stop actively trying to recalibrate your mind and watch your thoughts, the just daily grind of life pushes you out into stress and anxiety. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Blind Melanelli. Ooh. But 5 months of care, so sounds like that was maybe the way that chapter needed to end, and how nice that you were able to be a part of it. But here's to New Year's and healing. Let's see if I can make this shirt, you can see it better. I don't know if you can see it from there. It's got this cool back thing to it. So one thing that I wanted to maybe, I don't know, get your perspective on. I'm trying to understand this whole militia thing in Oregon. And at first I saw the kind of counter media stuff saying like, why aren't we calling them terrorists? And I so wanted to believe that, like, yeah, we're just, if they were non-whites, we'd call them terrorists. And I think that may be true, but I think the lesson there and the awareness there is not that what this act is terrorism, but that we are too quick to call people terrorists. A terrorist is someone who uses terror to try to change behavior and to get their way. A protest or I think that what the ranchers are doing is actually more of an act of war. It's actually non-terrorism in that they are not targeting innocent people at all. They have actually gone and occupied a government building. So it is more like a militia act than a terrorist act, which I think involves innocent people and civilians. So I'm not saying I don't think that they are totally wacky and this is going to end poorly. I'm just saying that maybe this is an opportunity to revisit the word terrorism and how we use it to affect people's perspectives. And that's really, I think, maybe that's the takeaways is of the criticism. Like, why aren't we calling them terrorists? It's not so much that this is a terrorist act, but more like, dude, look at the way that we use language to define a certain protest. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was saying, like, look at this news article where this protest that was about police brutality was labeled as a protest against police. It's not a protest against police. A protest against police, if you're middle America, you're like, of course you have negative feelings about people who are protesting police. Protesting police brutality or protesting inequality or racial profiling or the murder of youth by police, that is a very different thing. And the language that the media uses to tell the story massively changes how we perceive and how we react. Because as much as we like to think that we are independently thinking people, we're not. I can look through scan all of my Facebook friends waxing philosophical about almost any idea or point, myself included. And what we're doing is regurgitating or collecting or piecing together perspectives that we've gotten from someplace else. Unless we're discussing some leaf that we're staring at in our garden, we are taking some news perspective and making it our own, and then we're ranting about it. I can't tell you how often I see others and catch myself digging into an argument that is not a perspective that I have researched fully or that they have researched fully. It is something they have read, and then they get indignation about it. And once you have a perspective, the human mind is engineered in such that you find evidence to support whatever it is you believe. That's how scientific beliefs throughout history become so hard to change, because once you believe something, you see evidence that supports it, and you totally miss the evidence that contradicts it. And you totally dismiss the people that are telling you that you are wrong. They're idiots. Which is why when the news is presented, the language becomes so critical. Calling someone a thug, calling someone calling out their religion, versus their color or their skin color, and calling out mental illness versus, sociopath. And there's just, we are victims to our own language. We are way weaker. We are way less in control of our thoughts than we think unless we are disciplined. And so I think that like culturally we need to have this huge education and maybe a criticism of our media so that we can try to have a little bit more fairness and compassion. It's too easy to get swept into judgment. The language itself will do that for us. We don't think we're passing judgment, we're learning information, but imbued in the language of the information is judgment, is an opinion, is a perspective. Imbued in everything that I'm saying in this moment is a perspective that needs to be challenged, that needs to be analyzed and maybe broken apart to recognize what the agenda of my speech is. Of course, my speech is right and theirs is wrong because I have it figured out and they're idiots. Go my team, boo you. Tommy, these pants I got from somebody on Etsy, some pant maker on Etsy. They're super soft, but they're kind of like sweatpants. They need a drawstring. Not to be critical, but I think I need to install a drawstring. Anything else I was gonna say? I guess I'll talk about that at a different time. Oh, so I've got a new video I want to share with you. Maybe I'll share the video and then I'll tell the story, or maybe I'll only clarify the story. Okay, so hold on one second. I'm going to share a video with you guys. It's another unreleased Awesome News Network video. Hold on. No. Huh. Boom. Boom. Share.
Yesterday, I went to For Saturdays. It was so fun. First Saturdays is something. Every first Saturday of each month, a group of people would come and they would give stuff to homeless people. Yesterday, blankets. I went to For Saturdays. It was so fun.
How do I make that
First
work?
Saturdays is something.
Huh. Oh, wait. All right, hold on. All right, that didn't work. I don't know how you screen share with audio and not make the audio loop like that. All right, let me try one more thing. So, thanks for being a good sport. All right. I hope I didn't. All right, let me try this again. So I don't know if that worked or not, but what I was trying to say, still no audio? Oh, no. Ooh, really? Crap. Well, how about now? Is there audio? Let's see. Hello. Test. Ooh, really? All right. Huh, I don't know why. Oh, well, okay, sorry. So, okay, I guess what I get to do is like, I'll tell you the story that Caleb was telling. And Tommy was there, so he probably heard me tell the story. But there was the first route go around, and then when I plugged in the speakers so that it didn't loop, I don't get that. So it's still, even if I see, if I share screen, let me try one thing. If I can scare screen share. I see. Okay, so screenshot actually doesn't. All right, darn it. Sorry. Okay. My apologies. So I guess screen share allows me to talk about the screen, but it doesn't let me play a video. I guess I have to do some research. Okay, so the story that I was going to tell you, my apologies, is, First Saturdays is always awesome and inspiring and it's uplifting. But this weekend, something that kind of like shook me, and I posted this, so if you follow my Facebook, this might be a repeat as well. But there was a woman who was bringing her donations, and she was organizing and folding her donations in our organizing portion of the outing. And she had this huge, thick coat. And I was like, whoa, that looks warm. She said, oh, it is. It saved me when you guys gave it to me when I was homeless. And I was like, all this about cosmic perspective and you can't make a difference. Well, you can't make a difference in the universe, but you can definitely make a difference in one person's life and in their day. And what a powerful little like cycle of ripples that was. So whew, powerful. Anybody have a New Year's goal, or I see myself in the recording. I realize I have to do my roots. I'm apologizing. I'm embarrassed. I will work on having my roots and my hair done by next week. Anyone have any New Year's resolutions or goals or shifts? I know I said, don't get worked up, but it still is a good time. If you have things that you would like to change, it's a great way to shift it. Oh, you're in the chat room? Oh, Karen. I can't tell you how much I've thought about that, and how what a beautiful what a beautiful example. The other example that I have been thinking about is that story of thank you, Mel. Is the story of the person who comes across a kid on the beach, and low tide came quickly, and there's all these starfish that are stranded on the on the sand, just baking and dying in the sun, and the kid is just tossing one at a time, into the ocean. And the grown-up walks up and is like, kid, there are hundreds and thousands of starfish out here. There's no way you're going to save them all. You just can't make a difference. And the kid picks one up and goes, makes a difference to this guy. Whew. And I guess this story is even better because not only did a tiny act make a difference to one person, but that person then went on to do kind acts. And so thank you, Karen, for being a living demonstration of kindness ripples. You only need one of those every once in a while to keep you on track, because there certainly is a lot of reminders of the challenges and the obstacles in life. It's pretty special to when life gives you such a cool sign of thumbs up or a big old hug. So I'm speechless. Me, really speechless. Who would have thought that was possible? Tommy, you're going to clean your garage and start a stained glass business. Seriously? Dude, I love stained glass. I would love to see what you make. I don't know if you've ever been to Dimitri's home, but he has a stained glass that someone gifted me a while ago, and I passed it on to Dimitri. But it's a cool Burning Man symbol that someone made with these cool flames in the colored glass. It's pretty neat. I got a bunch of goals for the new year, but I think I'm still in the process of trying to get them all specced out. One is that I want to put energy and build up the Awesome News Network. And which is, so far it's already been great. It's giving me an excuse and opportunity to make scheduled time to see my nephews. I saw Star Wars again, but this time I saw it with my nephews yesterday, which was super fun. To my earliest movie passion and toys and all my early memories are Star Wars related. And I was 6, I think, when I saw it for the first time, and I saw it 13 times in the theater, and had every action figure for the first 2 series. And so it's so cool to be able to, share the Force. Has everybody seen the new Star Wars movie? Can we talk about it yet? I saw a funny tweet where someone was saying, like, not since 9/11 have we been this unified and worked together as much as we are currently being, unified in not sharing Star Wars spoilers. Gift more, grunt less. That's a good one. Let's see. I want to try to, I do have some health things that I'd like to do. And I want to, during the last couple months of the year, I actually have an injury that I need to, now I have insurance again. I need to check on a shoulder injury, but I'd like to get a little bit more discipline to my exercise. I read a really cool post by a guy named Jared Grohl. It's a Facebook friend of mine, and he was actually hit by lightning a few months ago. And so in the months since then, he posted some things that he has, some kind of 3 awarenesses or epiphanies that he's been reflecting on. And one was, that your body is a temple, and, if you treat it well, it will give you vibrancy and energy. And I don't think I've been honoring my temple like I should in terms of diet and exercise. And I think that I could probably have more energy and be more available to experience life if I was dedicating more time to its fitness and its health. So, it's too early for me to just kind of allow myself the title of, well, I'm old now. So I would like to work on that some. He also, one of his other posts or his observations, and this actually might become a whole talk because I haven't fully thought about it, but I really like it. He said that don't do what you feel. Don't act based on how you feel. Act based on your commitments. Because you act on how you feel, then you're always acting based on the results of circumstances. You know, I'm tired, I'm whatever. Whereas if you make commitments, and this is like, usually I make a plan like that get in shape or, you know, healthy plan, that's a commitment. If I make that commitment, then tomorrow morning I can make a decision that I'm going to walk, not based on how I feel in the morning, but based on my commitment to have walked in the morning, which I think that's a cool distinction and something that I would like to explore and practice. Lily, Monster Meat, what a treat. Good to see you here. And I will wish you luck on your smoking quitting. I think that there's a lot of people who would appreciate you kicking that, not because of you smoke, just because, you know, we want you healthy. We want lots of Tommy years, and smoking tends to inhibit and the ability to maximize our stay in this earth ship. Dun, 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 dun. Want to remind everyone to subscribe to the Awesome News Network. That will be hopefully, I've got a few episodes now ready to go, so we're getting those out soon. And if you're interested in bidding on, or at least maybe sharing, if you're not interested in letting people know that they can get a cool custom festival wear, one-of-a-kind shirt that also the proceeds go to First Saturdays. Actually, not proceeds, the profits. Proceeds means that all the money, but we have to kind of recoup a little bit of costs. Let's see, the link for Awesome News Network is awesomenewsnetwork.com. The link for the purchasing is ebay.hugnation.com, but I haven't put it live yet. I'll put it live as soon as the show's up. And I don't know what are the links that I was talking about. But we will be, as we get ready to call the first broadcast of the year to a close, I will say that I am so honored and pleased and delighted that I get to start the year with this practice again. You know, all this talk about requiring practices and tools and tricks, and this practice is so critical for me in my path and my mental health and my my sense of peace and purpose. I think that it's amazing how significant this a weekly recalibration can be. Yes, we need them daily. Yes, we need them hourly, but having that weekly recalibration is it's cosmic. So thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for all you are. A special thank you to Karen for her courage and her willingness to share her story and her vulnerability so that it can inspire others. I know that, you know, it's yeah, I'll just let that speak for itself and say thank you. I love you. Have a beautiful week, and I will see you here next Monday. Love you. Yay, glad you made it too, Orbnorian. I will make a edited archive of today's show and get it up as soon as I can, as well as get the shirt online and all the other good stuff. So have a fantastic week. I love you.